Hi everyone, welcome to Tidbit Tuesday. Today I want to flip the script a little bit, and instead of talking about the content you're sending your customers and prospects, looking at emails you might be getting and how you can avoid clicking on fake, fraudulent, spammy, any of those emails, just making sure that you're keeping your IT team happy and keeping your systems as secure as possible. First, I always like to check the email that it is coming from. So often I look at the domain of the email address. So that would be whatever's after the @ symbol. Oftentimes fake emails, they're coming from some weird looking string of characters, alphanumerics, and it doesn't really seem like it would be coming from a legitimate email to start. Number two, if there's any links in the email that they're asking you to click, you can usually hover over these links and get a preview of where it's trying to take you. Number three, if it seems like it's coming from an actual company you're familiar with, always double check the logo and the formatting of the email content itself against any other communications you might have received from that company in the past. Finally, number four, if there's any sort of attachment that, maybe someone's saying, hey, here's this invoice, or here's a question about a payment we received from you, and they're trying to have you open some sort of document, that can be a little bit nerve-wracking because there's in your head thinking, well, if this is legitimate, I don't want to ignore this. It seems like something you need to double check. So if there's a chance that it might be legitimate, it never hurts to reach out to that person or company directly and just say, hey, I got this email, it's saying this, is this correct? If it's a company you have an account with, maybe just go in and check your account to make sure that, there's nothing flagged in there. So there's definitely ways you can double check before you just blindly accept that it actually is something you need to pay attention to. Hang on, there's a number 5. People get those like domain registrations. And number 5, read the fine print. Now this is not something that's really tied in with any sort of malicious content that could involve a security breach or a virus or anything like that. But I see a lot of emails that our customers ask about from a domain provider saying, hey, you need to register this domain. And it definitely sounds like they're telling you need to renew with them. But if you read the fine print, it will actually say, hey, this is just an offer. Switch over to our services to receive a better rate or something like that. So if it's more of like a sales email, definitely make sure you're reading the fine print, because often companies will try to position themselves and make it sound like you don't have a choice but to work with them, when really that's not true. So always read the fine print if that's an option. And in general, if you're taking a few extra precautions, then I'm sure you'll be completely fine and safe to navigate your emails. Do the shout out. It's going to be so cheesy. Big shout out to my husband Alex for helping me put together this list, as he is a pro when it comes to email marketing. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below or send me a direct message, and I will always see you next week for our next Tidbit Tuesday.